Alright guys, back here with another video, and this time we have a new friend from Richmond, and he got top 32, very interesting deck, and he was playing, I think it was the only black leader in the entire tournament, probably. He's playing Zen-oh, and he's going to go in detail about this leader and what it does and how everything works. I have never seen anybody play this deck, and I was so amused the fact that he got 25th place and received his invite to Nationals.
Okay, so the Zen-oh leader. So what happens with the leader is that you can only play universe cards, or you can only play battle cards with the universe special trait, so you can't even play extra cards. So that's kind of like a disadvantage, but you can play around it. Also, all your universe cards are treated as though they don't have their specified cost. So all universe cards are colorless, which is pretty good. When you attack, you have the option to mill up to 2 cards and then draw one. You can choose 0 and get the draw as long as you hit the leader. It's pretty decent. When you awaken, you get 2 energy back up. And on the awaken side, is active main is you can send 10 cards in your drop area to the warp and drop 2 cards out to your opponent's hand. They get to choose, but it's still a pretty good ability. So start the deck. 4 to 1 drops. This is the Universe 2. He's a 1-drop. When you play him, look at the top 3, you can get a Universe 2 card. What you try to get in here is any of the Maiden Squadron cards, or you get the 3-drop Jimmez. It's a really good card. Next, you get 2-drop. The Ribrianne card, she's pretty much, when you play her, you look at the top 7, you can get a Maiden Squadron card and add it to your hand. What I find really interesting about her is when you play her and you look at the top 7, you can actually grab herself, which is pretty useful. Then you have the 5-drop Ribrianne. She's pretty good based on the simple fact she has Evolve. You can evolve over the 2-drop for 3 energy, and when you evolve into this, you pop one of your opponent's battle cards, and if you have the other 2 Maiden Squadron cards on the field, then when she attacks, you can choose 2 cards in your opponent's hand and make them discard, which is pretty good. Oh yes. And then you have the 7-drop.
This is the real Queen Bee.
Now, when you go from the 5 to the 7, she loses her barrier, but she has EX Evolve, and her EX Evolve auto is when you evolve over the 5, when it's rested, it actually switches back to active, and the 7-drop has double strike, and you don't need the other maidens, so when
it's 30k.
It's 30k, and when you attack with it, you don't need the other maidens, you can just drop 2 cards out their hand, and you still get to choose. This is really good.
Card's insane.
Other cards we have in here is this is the 2-drop blocker for Universe 2. If you have a Universe 2 card on the board, it's a free blocker. You play 4, it's very useful. Most of the deck is Universe 2, so it's just a free blocker to play. Then we have Rosie. It's a 4-drop blocker. It's a Maiden Squadron. The good thing about this is that if you have Ribrianne and Kakunza on board, then at the end of the turn, if it's tapped, you stand it back up. So it's really good, so it can be offensive and defensive. And then we have Kakunza. She is a critical 20k cost 4, but when you have Ribrianne and Rosie on board, she gains dual attack. So dual attack crit 20k is pretty good. And this is the heart of the deck. The 3-drop teleporting Jimmez. So what makes this deck very unique or pretty good is that his permanent is you can decrease the cost of Squadron or Maidens from your hand by 2. And it doesn't hit specified costs. So usually everything would have a cost, but since you're playing the Zen-oh leader,
you have no specified cost.
Yes, you have no cost. So this ability actually stacks. So with this one, with 1 on board, you can bring this out for free. With 2 on board, this comes out for free. This comes out for free. And then this is a 1-drop. So usually by turn 3, if you get these two out, you can just flood. You can literally dump your hand and just put 5, 6, 7 characters on board. It's really good, and that's how you get to your end goal. Oh, forgot about that. Also, one more trick it has, the active main. You can drop a card from your hand to the drop area, and then you warp it until the start of your next turn.
He teleports.
So he can get out of any type of removal that your opponent may have. So he's really good. And then other cards in the deck. Since you can't play extra cards, play Roshi. That's your negate. And since he's colorless, it's just 1 energy counterattack. It's the only negate you have, so just gotta play him correctly, and he gets there. Another card we're playing here, since we're playing Universes, Burst Attack. Burst Attack is actually pretty good in this deck for the simple fact, when you go off and dump your whole hand, if you don't kill them or they survive a turn, you rip into him, or you just down to 3 cards, you just play him and you can draw, and then if you draw into more maidens, you keep pushing out more board advantage. He's really good. During the tournament though, I've usually used him for energy because I never got to that point. When I made the board, I usually won or I finished the game. And this is also good against Cell Chain, so it was definitely a good choice for the deck. Super combo. The only the God super combo. The only super combo you can play with the Zen-oh deck, because this is a super combo that's for gods and it's a universe card. It's actually really good because you can, when you use it, you discard any card and draw 2.
She's also a universe 2.
And she's universe 2. What's really useful with the deck is she synergizes perfect with Zen-oh, because you want to get 10 cards engraved so that you can rip 2 more cards out their hand. So using the super combo, easily 2 cards in your grave. I also played At All Costs Vegeta. This is more used for self-awakening. When you play it, it's a 4-drop, but you untap 1 energy and you draw 1, which is pretty good. And it's active main once per turn. You can take 2 cards from your life, add it to your hand, and for each energy, he gains 3k for the turn. If you have 5 or more, then he can KO one of your opponent's battle card, and he gains triple strike for the turn.
It's a sneaky win.
Yes, I actually used that last round to sneak a win in on my opponent. I took their hand away, and I finally swung with this, got him to like 50k, and secured the victory. Another card I played. Sidra. It's a 3-drop blocker. It's a universe card.
Card's so good.
It's really useful for self-awakening yet again, and it's just a blocker. I use it for energy most of the time, but if someone's stalling me out, I play it, and it's just another blocker for the deck. And it has spot removal, because when you play it, you take a life, you can pop anything on your opponent's side if their cost is equal to or less than your energy. And last 2 cards in the deck, Champa.
My boy Champa.
The reason I play this Champa is universe card, and also he's good for getting rid of little weenie cards. When you play him, you can choose 2 battle cards on your opponent's side with 9k or less and clear them. So it's good for if people are playing Yajirobis or against Storm when they're playing Videls or Jeans for blockers. You can get rid of the mini blockers with just playing him. And that's the main deck. Over. For the side, played 2 Focus Mind Piccolos, more blockers, just to stall off the game so I can make it to pretty much turn 4. The deck usually goes off at turn 4. You just want to play your 3-drop Gemez, Awaken, play the second one, go off. The Piccolo gets me there. It's really good for people that's trying to use removal because it has blocker barriers, so it keeps you alive and they can't touch it. Also, decided 3 foreseeing hits.
It's a Universe 6 card.
Universe 6 card. Thank God it's Universe so I can use it. I've been using it. Decided it in usually for matches, for blue-red, when they try to chain Zen-oh, try to rip the chain attack, or the Zen-oh's out their hand. It was really useful, good card. It's pretty much what I used it for those. Last one standing, Son Goku. The reason I played this card is because, yet again, since you're restricted to universe cards, I couldn't use the 4-drop green Piccolo everyone uses that pops cards. So his active main is once per turn. You can choose one of your opponent's battle card and pop. That's all I use it for. I can't use the auto for using Universe 7 cards because I don't play that many. But he's just budget Piccolo for me. Also, 5-drop Beerus. I play that against mono blue decks that want to stall out or play Vegito. Pretty much, I just use him to apply pressure. He's just another good side for me. Universe card. He's a double striker, 25k. He's just useful for another option. Another card I play, Combo Killer. Another sideboard card. Really good for the theme of the deck, just for the simple fact you put it on board and then you start pressing your opponent. And if they drop cards, they have to drop even more. It helps you rip their hand faster. You can bait them into getting low or bait them into combo and then finish them off with the Zen-oh to make sure that they have no cards in hand. It's pretty good to side. And another side, Bergamo. Just another blocker I can play. Universe card. Pretty decent with the deck. Since people have to attack into it and I have to use it as a blocker, I can pitch cards out my hand, make it go higher, and feeds for Zen-oh, and I can wipe their hand. And last 2 cards I sided, surprisingly, was the Desperate Odds Kefla. Now, the reason I played this card is because at first I thought it had no purpose, and then I was like, it's perfect for this deck, and this deck for the simple reason, one, if you get Chain Zen-oh, you have 5 cards in hand, you play your energy, play that, you'll have 4 less, so it'll be a double striking, and it can stand back up. That's useful. It's a Universe card. Also, it's one of those win more cards, just like the Burst Attack Gohan. If I dump my whole hand and I draw into it, now I have another threat to deal with. And that's the deck and the sideboard.
Thanks for the profile, man. I hope to see you guys in another regional.
Thank you so much.